Christmas and the New Year, we have something new going on here, which is why we're hanging out here for the first episode of our Greater Culture podcast, which aligns with this new brand we got called Greater Culture. So why not, with episode one, we'll dive into a little bit about ourselves, what this whole brand is all about, what we're doing right now, just to sort of give people a feel and a flavor for what this thing is that we're excited about. And now we're starting to sharing with everyone else. So I think no better place to start than going back to sort of the why of why do we decide and why are we even getting into this brand called Greater Culture. So from your perspective, what's on your mind when you think about the why behind it?
The fun, fast version is that, I just was looking for something new that would provide some inspiration, challenge, and growth in my life. So you see that? And and after speaking with you a lot about it, it really just fell into place. We've had some big ideas in the past that we've wanted to get done and we just weren't able to. And this is just our avenue to put out the message and the vision that we've been really trying to put out for a while. And Greater Culture is going to allow us to really get into what we want to share with people, fitness wise, nutrition wise, event wise, mindset wise. And it's really just a great spot for us to grow and blossom into what we've been trying to do for a while now.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I know we've had a lot of excitement around thinking about how we can make a positive impact in people's lives. And this idea of quality of life sort of kept coming back to me over and over again of, hey, how do we help people just live happier, healthier, more satisfied lives? And both of us being in the fitness industry now for a little bit, we've done that through coaching movement, which is such a powerful tool. And there was just felt like there was more opportunity there of, hey, there's movement, but there's also nutrition, there's recovery, there's mindset. There's so many things that we deal with on a day-to-day that we wanted to help people. And I think this is going to be one way we can do that, which is why we're excited to sort of structure things of thinking of it as more of a fitness and lifestyle brand that we're trying to create, because we know that's going to give us so many opportunities to help people regardless of where they're at in their fitness journey. And, speaking of, fitness journey and us being in the space, I think it's helpful to have a little background on who the coaches, who the owners are of this thing. So let's dive into a little bit about our backgrounds, what we've gotten into, what we really enjoy doing, just to give people a sense of that. So tell us a little bit about your background, Chelsea.
Yeah, so I have been in fitness for a decade now. It's really fun to be able to say that. Really ages me, in high school, I played a lot of sports, did a lot of things, got injured a good amount, but not because of like catastrophic things, but just from overuse and not training properly. And that really just ignited this like desire to help people train better to get injured less. So really just improving that quality of life from the start. And with that led me into CrossFit. And I really love CrossFit because it does encompass all those things, even though it's just, people think of it as just a training modality. It really does encompass the quality of life, the nutrition, all of that. So with CrossFit, then I got into Olympic weightlifting, which is just like at the upper side of CrossFit, but it's just so much fun to coach movement to that degree and really get people to work in the best way possible. So that's really what's driven me the last 8 years of my career. The first 8 years, I would say, was just getting people to move in the best way possible. And then more recently with having kids and trying to find more balance in my life, I'm realizing that's also a part of fitness, is having that balance of relationships, taking care of yourself, nutrition, and all that. So more recently, I've been more focused on just helping my clients enjoy their time with me, because that's really all we want to do, is just enjoy our time. And that's what's been driving me these last few years forward. But, outside of fitness, I've lived in Fuquay the past, 7 years. Yeah. Fuquay Marina. Woo! And I got 2 kids. Jet is 4, Max is 1.5. And then we just got a puppy, and his name is Rex. And I'm sure he'll make appearances on this podcast. He's crazy. And yeah, and that's been life here. And that's a little bit about me. And I'm sure you'll find some fun facts out about me as we continue. And Brad, where does your inspiration come from? What's going on with you?
Yeah, and it's funny when you say this, the idea of a decade of experience, and I've started to say that, and I'm trying to be okay with that. But similar, that there's been a decade of experiences and education and training and things that have led to this point. And so some of the highlights for me, I'm really proud of. One, my background in education started in this field known as performance psychology, and really all that is just, hey, how do we help people set themselves up in a way to be successful, knowing that the way we think about situations, the way we handle our stress and whatnot, all plays a big factor. So that was really a foundational piece for me, and working with athletes and military personnel, and then coming and kind of stumbling into fitness for myself probably about 6 or 7 years ago. Of similar situation of, was an athlete, got out of shape, figured I got to get back into shape somehow, and found CrossFit, and that started to ignite this excitement again for moving. And that led to, hey, I'd be interested in coaching others, and how do they get better, and how can we help improve their lives? So became a CrossFit coach, and then that started this track of learning about movement, learning about nutrition, getting certified in that, continually increasing my own experience and education with things like mindfulness and behavior change, and how do we help people make the necessary decisions to live a more happy and fulfilled life. So over the last decade, there's been education, there's been experiences, and then there's been a lot of coaching along the way. And that's where one of my biggest passions is, similar to you, Chelsea. I just want people to enjoy what they're doing, feel like they can go and accomplish all the things that they want to outside of the gym. And in doing so, have fun for that hour while they're there, regardless of what their goals and intentions are. And similar to you, calling Fuquay Arena home, my wife Emily and I were just trying to figure out how long we've been here, and it's like 8 or 9 years now. It's a little bit longer than maybe we anticipated, which is a good thing. Happy, feeling settled, and similar to you, we wanted to add a little bit of challenge to our year, so we decided to also get a puppy who's about 3 days into our home now. So it's been fun to try and figure out and balance that. His name is Tux. He's a little schnoodle, and so we're learning a lot as we work on potty training him, getting him to eat, and doing all those fun things. So yeah, we're trying to acclimate him to the gym as well. So hopefully he'll be a gym dog one day. But that is a little bit about us. And one of the things we talk about with Greater Culture is, it is a fitness, it's a lifestyle brand. We're really passionate about helping people. And we also wanted to align some of the core values that we have and we think this brand is going to have that might resonate with folks out there. So when we look at the 4 core values that we have for Greater Culture, they include growth, challenge, optimism, and inspiration. And which one of those, stands out to you, Chelsea, or what do you think about those different core values and how they might play a role in how you coach or how you interact with people?
Yeah, so I was, prepping for this podcast, and I was really trying to put out my own thoughts with our core values. And it was so funny as I'm writing them, and I'm like, they build on each other so much. And that's what I think I like about them the most, because it really does drive our day to day. So, with growth is a huge thing for me. We've had a lot of conversations about this where I was feeling stagnant in some places in my life, but growing a lot in other places. And it was kind of frustrating because it really highlighted that I wasn't growing in certain places. So growth for me is the biggest thing for sure, because I want to be moving forward. I want to be constantly improving who I am. And I mean, I'm pretty great. I'm not going to lie, but I always know there's places to get better. And I really love being surrounded by people that agree with that. Like, where we are today is going to continue to move forward. And on that, like, you want to continually be growing, but you got to challenge yourself if you want to grow. If you're doing the same things every day and not looking for new opportunities, you're not going to go too far. It's hard to grow without that challenge. And then, with optimism, I call myself a realist. which
Everyone who
can,
says they are the opposite of optimism calls themselves that. I'm not a
yes,
pessimist. I'm a realist.
yeah. But like you said, it can lead to pessimism very easily. So with wanting that growth, I'm realizing that I need to be pointing myself more into that optimist direction. And it's super helpful when you do meet those challenges to not just be real about them, but to, have a more optimistic view of them. So in reading all of these, it's just, I'm super pumped to be able to put that out to other people as well, and not just like beat them over the head with it or anything like that. But, if we want to inspire people, we need to, show them that this is how we live our lives. And if they want to hop on board, that's great. And I think that's really what greater culture encompasses. If you want to hop on board with this and kind of move forward with your life as well, then, join the team, because that's what we're doing.
Yeah, and when I think about the role that core values play, whether it's a brand or a person, whatever it might be, it's really sort of the essence of what drives them and what they base their decisions on, what they use to think about different situations. And so that's why it was really important for us to have some core values that explain the why behind what we're doing or how we're trying to help people out. And then we'll get into the what and the how of how you might interact with us. But exactly like you said, anyone who's taken any classes or worked with me at all, you'll know probably my two favorite words in the English language are opportunity and challenge, because it's just a way that we can orient ourselves and how we think about different moments. And when we start to think about moments as opportunities and challenges, it provides a little different perspective. It might not feel like it's beating us down as much, but maybe I can figure out a way to navigate this. How do I improve? Whether it's my physical fitness, my nutrition, my relationships, my communication, I want to find ways to challenge myself so I can grow. And what's required there, sort of the sneaky core value there, is the optimism piece, because it's not that the world is all sunshine and rainbows. But it's more this ability to say, you know what, whatever life is throwing at me right now, I can make a little bit of a change or a little bit of a difference down the road. And just even having that, glimmer of hope or perspective makes us, hey, let me take another step forward. Let me just get a little bit
Yeah.
better. Let me challenge myself. Let me see if I can grow a little bit. Because, like you said, the alternative is if we're pessimistic and feel like the things are stacked against us and it's hard or we can't overcome what's in front of us, it can be a really frustrating time. I think that's when we
Mhm.
fall into the trap of being unfulfilled and unsatisfied or stagnant, like you
Mhm.
said. And at the end of the day, we want to inspire others. We want people to be an inspiration for their significant others, for their kids, for their friends. All of us are inspired by individuals and groups. And so that's what we want to do, is just create a place where people can build with each other, get inspired by each other, and grow together. So that's why our core values are so important to us. And once we've established those core values, and now we've kind of got this concept of a brand, we start to think about, okay, well, how do we actually impact people? And so I want to jump into how we're currently helping people when it comes to improving their quality of life. So what does it look like if somebody's like, okay, I hear what you're saying. You've got these core values, you've got this fitness and lifestyle brand. What does that actually mean? So what are we doing right now to help people with their own quality of life within greater culture?
We're doing fitness, I mean, that's where it all starts. So yeah, we offer 3 CrossFit classes a day. We've got that morning class at 7:30, the noon class, and then we have a 6:30 p.m. class, and that's every day. And then except Saturdays and Sundays, and Saturday we have our 10 a.m. class. And CrossFit class is a group-led fitness experience, right? That was very like corporate of me. It's an experience. It's a journey. And and what's great about our classes is, even though we're not in some huge facility with all the equipment in the world, what we have is an intimate one-on-one experience with our athletes, which is really how we can put out a great message, and how the athletes can get the most out of their experience. So my focus as a coach, besides a great warm up and a great class, is making sure that it's tailored to each person in that class and taking the time so that they can work on the things that they want to work on skill wise, and also get in some good intensity and a good class. And Brad, what's your take on our CrossFit classes?
Yeah, I mean, CrossFit is, for me, huge impact in my life, and I've enjoyed it. And the more I've learned about it, the more I've studied it, the more I've coached it, the more I realize it is a great tool for so many people. Everybody has different goals, different intentions. Some people want to be able to play with their kids a little bit more easily. Some people want to be able to go on a hike or hop on their bike, or when somebody says, hey, let's go do a Spartan race, you feel like you're equipped to do that. And CrossFit gets us prepared for all of those general things in our lives that we'd like to take part in. And for some people, they take part in CrossFit and they get excited about it. And they're like, you know what? Maybe I want to go to a local competition. Maybe I want to do an event and just see where my fitness level's at compared to others. Well, you can do that too. And what's beautiful about our classes is whether it's your first time walking into a gym or maybe it's your 1000th time walking into a gym, the class, because of the way that we have it structured, we can adjust and modify. We can adjust the movements. We can adjust how long the workouts are. We can adjust how heavy the movements are for you to make sure you are getting a great workout that aligns with your intentions and with your goals, what you want to actually get out of it, and hopefully have a little bit of fun along the way, because we know that that community environment is really powerful. And that's part of why the name greater culture exists, because we know when people have a shared belief, a shared set of values, they create their own culture. It's really powerful. And so within our small group community, you can have a great experience. You can get some really specific coaching, a class that's tailored for you. Make sure you're moving safely and efficiently, going to get a good sweat in and be ready to come back the next day. And then you just keep that process rolling for however long it takes to find what it is that you'd like to do outside of the gym. And that's what we love about it. And every class is completely different. So some days, if you're like, I'm really excited because I get to lift some weight, whether it's dumbbells or kettlebells or barbells, you're going to find that. Some days you're going to come in and there's no weight at all. And we're just moving through some different body weight exercises. You get to challenge yourself that way. So there's always something to improve, which is a really fun piece around our fitness classes and what our CrossFit classes look like. So we've got these classes that we're excited about, these group-led CrossFit classes. We also highlighted that our goal is to be a fitness and lifestyle brand, which means we want to do more than just offer that 1 hour in the class experience for folks. And so some of the things we're really excited about when we look at this brand and what's coming is we want to help people not only with movement, but also nutrition and recovery. But we're also really passionate about collaborating and working with other folks who share our vision and our mission and our values. So some of the things coming up that we're excited about is partnering with local businesses and bringing our community to their community and sharing in the excitement around movement and fitness and lifestyle. We're going to be offering some seminars and some workshops. We have one coming up at the end of January, which is going to be all about how do you figure out who's the type of person you want to be and what are some of the goals or intentions you have for 2023, because we know how powerful that can be to have goals and intentions and then align your behaviors and your daily practices to that. As we get really big picture here, we've never been people to shy away from a big challenge or some big ideas. And so we have a lot of ideas around creating different lifestyle coaching opportunities, working with different businesses, working with building an apparel line, all sorts of fun things that we are very excited about. But we know we want to get things really, really dialed in with the community we have, people who share our mission and our values, and people who want to improve their lifestyle through different habits, through different behaviors that we want to help facilitate. So I know those are some things that I'm really excited about, and we're excited to build it as we have this brand that we're launching. Anything come to mind for you, Chelsea, that you're excited about?
Yeah, I'm really excited about our seminar there at the end of the month that you're leading, because I just really I have these ideas and I have these goals, I have these intentions, but they're all just kind of floating around sometimes. And I really value our relationship because you're good at bringing me back down and kind of setting me straight on where I need to go. So I'm glad that we're going to take the time as like a community to come together, discuss these things, and then, really set them, and then be able to hold each other accountable, because we're in this group setting of, we've talked about what we're looking forward to, and you're really great at helping us organize those thoughts, and then we can all really move forward as a community, continue to grow, and keep each other in check with those goals and intentions for the year.
Yeah, it's amazing how, I mean, it all plays together. As much as some people think, oh, it's just movement or just nutrition or just mindset, it's like it plays a role in our whole life, and they all meld and blend together, which is what we're going to try and do, is figure out ways that we can bring all of these concepts together just to help improve quality of life for people. And if you got a better sense of the direction you want to head for this year, it might help you live and align some of those practices. So that's going to be towards the end of the month, January 22nd. We'll include a little bit of information about that if you are interested in sign up, because it's totally free. It's open to anybody, because we're just here to provide help and support for anyone who's looking to improve their quality of life. So those are some of the things that we're really excited about with building this brand, why we built the brand, the classes we're starting to offer, where things are going to end up going. One of the segments that, Chelsea, you came up with for us is this 2 helps and a So tell us, what is this segment all about that we're getting into right now?
Well, Brad, you know that I love talking about myself. So I thought, how can I include that into our podcast? And I got on this idea of like, I have these little tips that I love to share with people when they're captive audience in my classes. I love to tell them, little things that I'm doing to maybe improve my morning routine or something like that. But I also am just consuming content constantly. I love watching TV, listening to podcasts, listening to music, and I like to share that as well. So this idea of like 2 truths and a lie came up, but I was like, let's make it so it's like 2 helpful things, that you can actually add to your day. And then just a little, maybe we'll think about it, or, Chelsea has some interesting facts she likes to share, like little things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, that's the idea behind it. So what is your help, Brad?
All right, so my help, New Year's resolutions coming up. Everybody's trying to figure out intentions, goals, words, whatever it might be. And I saw something the other day that I thought was really helpful, and that if it's too complicated, you probably shouldn't do it. If it's too much too soon, you probably shouldn't do it. For anybody who's interested in making a change, whether it's changing up maybe some of the ways that you eat or some of the ways that you move, figure out what is the smallest change you can make that you are 90% certain you can do it consistently, and that's actually the change that you should make. So if it's adding 1 glass of water to your daily nutrition routine, do that. If it's walking for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, do that. So rather than trying to eat the whole elephant right away on day 1, start small, make sure you're 90% confident you can actually accomplish the task, and try that and see what happens. So that's my one help, especially as we get excited for the new year. So what is your help for everyone out there?
So mine kind of plays off of that, which is so funny because it's a little bit more like to the point, but it was just drink water first thing in the morning. Like if you start your day off with a glass of water, and I know y'all, like I have like 10 drinks I drink in the morning before I get to my coffee. It's a whole thing. I won't share all those yet, but just start your morning with that glass of water before the cup of coffee, before anything else. And just like you said, Brad, it's just that small step you can take. And it really does like make your day a little bit better. You've already had at least 1 cup of water. So it's fine. Drink the 3 cups of coffee after you drank the 1 cup of water already. You're good.
Cancel it out. And
Exactly.
if you really want to improve that, you have to drink out of the right drinking vessel. Is that correct? Because I've heard some people.
Well, this isn't my drink water in the morning cup. That's a different cup. This is the day to day. This is like the around the house cup.
That's the influencer.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And then
right, so we each gave a help. Yeah. So now we got to go with a So I'm curious to hear what your is, because I'm still trying to figure out where I'm going with that one.
Yeah. So this will be really helpful as people in this podcast realm get to know me. But this is just, something real special to me coming up. Miley Cyrus is releasing her first single in a while on January 13th. And the album drops, she just announced today, March 10th. So big
Cool.
things to look forward to. A lot of people already know how much I loved her previous album. If you want to know why, just send me a message. I'll explain it to you, why it's so great, why she's a great artist, why you should take her seriously, and why you should be excited about this new album.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my
It may or may not appear in the gym as music for classes in the near future.
Yes. You'll have to say turn it off if you don't want to listen to it.
That's right.
What's yours, Brad? What'd you get?
So reflecting on, this last week here of probably the best time of year for sports. If you didn't know, I'm a sports fan, and particularly football. Emily likes to joke that come end of August, September, I'm kind of out of pocket until February and the Super Bowl is done. But my two teams are the Lions and then college's Michigan Wolverines. So I was in a bit of a funk coming off of the New Year's Eve game, probably the worst game Michigan's played in a while. But the Lions picked it up and they won convincingly on Sunday against a poor team. They need a little help. The Rams have to beat the Seahawks, and somehow they have to find a way to go to Green Bay and beat the Packers on Sunday. So for anyone out there, send some good vibes that Detroit decides to take their game with them when they head across the lake and they play well against Green Bay. And let's hope that miraculously the Rams beat the Seahawks. So my is keep your eyes peeled for the playoffs this weekend or the implications for it. So for any sports fans out there, hope your teams do well this upcoming weekend. So that's our two helps and some updates that we'll have continuously throughout. So the last thing we want to do is just let you all know different ways you can connect with us. So this is one version, a podcast. If you appreciate watching it on YouTube, if you like listening to it, wherever you listen to podcasts. Chelsea, what are some other ways in which people might be able to connect with us on social media or things like that?
Well, we're on the gram, right? We're on the Instagram. So give us a follow. We're posting content all the time. We're going to be posting some more pictures soon so you can see our facility and our members putting in the work. And we'll be posting quotes and things like that, daily tips, all that good stuff. So we've got the Instagram, and then we don't have a Facebook yet, do we?
We actually do. So we have a Facebook page, business page set up.
Fantastic. Look at us. There we go. So we have a business page on Facebook. But the best way to really get in contact with us would be, if you have questions, comments, is just a little DM on that Instagram. Because, we're millennials, so we're only on Instagram.
Pretty much. And we are excited. So some of the other things we're excited about coming up is the website is getting built right now. So that'll get released soon enough. So you'll be able to get some more questions answered or other ways to reach out to us. And then we will have an email list. And that's going to be just a way for you to stay connected with things top of mind, things that are going on in our world, things that we can help with so that you can be part of the culture. Two of the hashtags you'll probably see connected with most of our posts are Be Greater. The idea of just, hey, how do we get a little bit better than yesterday? And then the second one is joining the culture, because you definitely want to get involved with people who share the same values and missions, people who are going to push you forward. And that's what we're all about, is creating that culture of people who want to be just a little bit greater, which is why the brand started, and we're excited and we're off and running for 2023. So hopefully you get a chance or an opportunity to connect with us in some way, shape, or form. We'll be having podcasts and conversations with other folks in the health and fitness space to figure out ways we can improve your quality of life. So we're excited to bring this podcast to you, and we'll have different guests on throughout. So follow us on YouTube, follow us on wherever you listen to your podcasts, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. So from Chelsea and I, thanks so much for tuning in for our first episode of the Greater Culture Podcast.
Bye.